Shalom, shalom, Israel's brothers, Abba, y'all are coming back at you with another cold cut. 3 days to Passover. 3 days to Passover. There's nothing better than the foundation. You want to understand it. 3 days to Passover, you understand. Hey, when you in this truth, when you first came into this truth, you was set with a great, if you're in this truth all the way until now, enduring sound doctrine, the Lord gave you a strong foundation. Don't forsake that. Don't start going out of your comfort zone, not comfort zone, but going out of your, your lane, man. And you know the lane that you have, and you start going out and you start reading all types of diverse books and trying to get the most hardest secret and breakdown, and you're departing from the foundation the Lord set you up with, man. A strong foundation. It's nothing better than the foundation. You can never continue going back to the milk over and over again, getting stronger, man. Tighten up the weak things, man. Usually, if the foundation's weak, the whole building is weak. If you have a strong foundation, the rest of everything else will fall in place. This Psalms 131:1. So yeah, desire the milk. Don't get tired of the milk. Don't get tired of going over doctrines and that rooted you in this truth. This is the book of Psalms 131 verse 1. Yahweh, my heart is not haughty, nor mine eyes lofty, neither do I exercise myself in great matters or in things too high for me. So in this truth, you don't want to exercise yourself in matters that are essentially above your pay grade, right? Or in things that's too high for you. Not saying don't step out your comfort zone and learn, new things. All praise to the Most High. But you don't want to become too engulfed into that, and now that's all you worried about. You got managers at different companies in different positions. They're not going to step outside their zone and try to do things the vice president is trying to do. They're going to try to oversee different regions, and they're going to start making these flights across to different committees and boards that they have no idea what's going on other than their store location. Don't, try to exercise yourself in things too high for you. This is what King David is saying. It says, surely I have behaved and quieted myself as a child that is weaned of his mother. My soul is even weaned as a child. Let Israel hope in the Lord for henceforth and forever. And you want to be like a child. Not going, not an mentality or understanding, as Ephesians 4 say, but just understanding that you want to have that milk, that foundation. Not getting too old for the milk. You can drink milk forever, man. So you can't drink wine as a child, but you can drink milk as a child. You can drink milk as an old man, as a young man. The foundation will never get too old. Because what happens when somebody starts to uproot your foundation? See, what happens is most of these doctrines and these demons that come and try to get men out this truth, the doctrine that sways you usually go against the foundation of the things that you learn. And then you have switched up the foundation that kept you rooted, and now the whole building is overthrown. You learned that Esau, is a so-called white man. You learned about these other nations. You learned about the Paleo-Hebrew. Now, I think the Yiddish is the real Hebrew. I think Esau is Japheth. Israel may be the Moabites. And we're actually the Moabites. And guess what? Now all these doctrines stem from you doing a doctrinal, foundational change, and now you're uprooted and living in the wilderness somewhere, scratching behind your ear. You can't let no man take your crown. This is Revelation chapter 3 and verse 11. Behold, I come quickly. Hold that fast which thou hast, that no man take thy crown. Don't let no man take your crown. Don't be afraid to learn again the first principles of Yahweh in the name of his son Yahweh Shai. It's Hebrews chapter 5, and I start at verse 12. For when for the time you ought to be teachers, you have need that one teach you again, which be the first principles of the oracle of the Most High, and are become such as ye have need of him, so that need of milk and not of strong meat. So the Lord said, if you thought to become a teacher, you want to become a teacher, all praise to the Most High. You want to covet these gifts earnestly, but then be ready to be taught again, to be taught like a teacher, to teach other people how to understand things that you're teaching. You can always be taught again, right? And the first principles of the oracles of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, and are become such of need of milk. The Lord didn't say if you wanted milk, if you wanted more milk. No, the Lord said in need of milk and not of strong meat. So, even to become a teacher, you don't need to have big, different, diverse breakdowns and doctrines. Now, if you want to have more understanding, all praise to the Most High, to increase your arsenal, history, prophecy, archaeology, etymology, chronology, the study of time, these things are mighty. But that's not really what you need. What you need is what? Milk. Foundational things. Things that can just bring a brother into the truth and have him repent and keep the law, statutes, commandments. You don't need Daniel 9 to break down to a brother he's an Israelite to keep the law, statutes, commandments, and live. You may break down a few curses, and guess what? Now the brother understands he has fringes on, and he's a soldier of the Lord now. You don't need the deepest, darkest, Revelations 8, and then Revelation 16, and going into the 10 plagues, Exodus chapter 9, and you don't need all of that, man. To have somebody understand they need faith in the Lord and have those works by keeping those commandments. Verse 13. For everyone that useth milk is unskillful in the word of righteousness, for he is a babe. But strong meat belongeth to them that are full of age, even those who by reason of use have their senses exercised to discern both good and evil. And to have your senses exercised to discern both good and evil sometimes comes with experience. Meaning you have to be in this thing, you have to kind of see some things throughout your course in this truth. Right? Throughout your years in this truth. If you want to be a teacher, give yourself time to have experience. Because strong meat only belongs to them that are full of age, even those who by reason of use have their senses exercised to discern both good and evil. Man. Don't stray away from that foundation. Love that foundation. Right? It's 1 Peter chapter 2 and verse number 2. As newborn babes, desire the sincere milk of the word, that you may grow thereby. If you want to grow, you have to desire the sincere milk of the word, man. Hey, when my daughter wants some milk, she's gonna cry. She's gonna cry and cry and cry. And guess what? She's gonna continue crying until she get her milk, man. And that's how much you gotta cry for this milk. No matter how much knowledge, wisdom, and understanding that you believe you may have, you still gotta cry for this milk. You still have to have that desire to grow thereby. You still have to have the desire of for the sincere milk of the word, the foundational things that will get you saved in the Lord, man. So we have to understand that, especially with 3 days to Passover. I like to give all honor and glory to Yahweh in the name of His Son Yahushua, but in mighty strong shalom.